Now, joining me every Thursday is UK political commentator and GB News presenter Calvin Robinson. Calvin, what is a woman? I mean, that should be a pretty straightforward question to answer. You could ask a child what is a woman, they could give you an answer. But we have another embarrassing trip up on the topic, this time from Labor leader Sir Keir Starmer, who floundered when he was asked if a woman can have a penis. Have a listen.
Nick, I don't think we can conduct this debate with,
Sorry, have I offended you in some way?
No, it's just...
A woman can't have a penis.
I don't think that discussing this issue in this way helps anyone in the long run.
Oh, Calvin, this follows two other Labor frontbenchers who couldn't tell you what a woman is, even during International Women's Day when they were celebrating the events. What's going on? Why is it so difficult to just answer these very simple questions that should be rooted in fact?
Well, exactly. Let me help you out, Sir Keir Starmer. A woman is a female, adult, human being. Simple as that. So no, a woman cannot have a penis.
Dictionary definition.
Yeah, exactly. But we all know this, as you said. Any primary school child, any infant school child can tell you what a woman is and what a man is and what the difference is. So people aren't confused, people are afraid. And the question to ask is, who are they afraid of? I don't think they're afraid of the voters, because we know the truth. We know that there are men, we know that there are women, we know there are trans people that want to identify as the opposite sex, we get that too. But we know that a man has a penis and an XY chromosome. A woman does not have a penis and has two X chromosomes. We know these basic facts. So people like Sir Keir Starmer are not afraid of us. Who are they afraid of? Is it each other? Is it the woke mob? Is it the trans activists? I'm not sure who it is, but they're not afraid of the voters. Therefore, they cannot be trusted with our votes.
Well, that's what's incredible, because it seems mainstream opinion, belief, scientific reality, none of that seems to matter. It's a very small group who have a disproportionate power and influence, and they're terrifying these people to behave just irrationally. Now, let's move along to Boris Johnson, who today is having a meeting with chief executives from the renewable energy industry, looking to boost production and be less dependent on Russian oil and gas. It's understood there are plans to more than triple the UK's solar power capacity by 2030. Now, Calvin, there's understandably a bit of concern because, yes, you don't want to be reliant on Russian oil and gas, but these panels are going to be built in another country you don't want to become reliant on.
But also, these panels are ugly. I don't know if anyone's seen the photographs of these, but they're replacing beautiful green fields with just panel after panel after panel. There we go. Thank you very much. It's disgusting. As a Christian, I would say that nature is beautiful and it's God's creation. It's our job to steward the earth and protect it for that reason. But as a conservative, I would say it's our job to preserve the past for the sake of the future. We protect it to pass it on to the next generation. We don't cover it in these horrible metal slates. It is ugly, it's inefficient, it's virtue signaling and craptrap. It's just saying, we are doing something for the environment. And it's not actually for the environment. What it is business. And if you look at who's proclaiming that we do these things, it's not the environment secretary, it's the business secretary. A lot of these net zero policies are going to make a lot of rich people even richer. People who are invested in renewable energies, people who have solar panels, people who have wind farms, they're all going to make a lot of money. So we need to ask the question of who's benefiting from this? Is it the environment or is it rich people? And I think there's a clear answer to that.
I tell you, and I can tell you China's benefiting because they'll be the ones probably producing these panels. And I've got to ask, the UK isn't known for its sunshine, so covering the countryside with solar panels, I mean, how much is that going to actually produce in energy? And what do you do when the sun doesn't shine? I mean, what sort of baseload power have you got? Boris, really, his green craziness is astonishing from someone who got elected in a landslide and then he's just embraced all this greeny stuff. Now, I wanted to ask you about the fallout from the Will Smith slap, because there's been all sorts of new revelations today. The Academy is saying that they asked him to leave after the slap, but he refused. And A number of comics have come out and spoken out about what happened, including Jim Carrey and Wanda Sykes. Have a look.
And it was sickening. It was absolutely, I physically felt ill, and I'm still a little traumatized.
I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse.
Calvin, Wanda, who we saw first there, she was a co-host of the Oscars. It would have been nice to see those sorts of comments on the night when everyone was treating Will Smith like he was the victim.
Absolutely. That was the big hypocrisy of it all. Will Smith was in the wrong. Very clearly, he was in the wrong. He got up on stage and physically assaulted someone for a joke that he didn't like. That is not what we do when we hear jokes we don't like. But rather than people booing, rather than him being handcuffed and escorted off the premises, they gave him a standing ovation 5 minutes later, the vast majority of people in that hall. Now, that tells me that they have low moral standards and they are not necessarily good people. They are a room full of virtue signalers. But, you know, Chris Rock was not in the wrong. A lot of people have said, well, he was in the wrong for saying a bad joke. No, he made a joke. We cannot censor comedians and say you can't joke about that topic, you can't joke about that topic. It was an insensitive joke, sure. Some people found it funny, others wouldn't have, but you cannot go assaulting people for bad jokes. Now, to hear today that the Academy asked Will to leave the premises and he refused, the size of this man's ego to say, no, I refuse to leave. But then the celebrity privilege that he actually was able to stay there without being arrested. You know, there were so many witnesses to this assault. Nothing happened. And that is the greatest offence of all of this. People are trying to make it a race issue and all kinds of issue. It's not a race issue, but it is a privilege issue. It's a celebrity privilege issue.